is. There he is. Senator Huff, welcome. You're up.
Sorry.
Senate Bill 1401. Welcome.
1401.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, you're confusing me.
Testing you, 981.
Okay, then we're on with the right place. It's been a busy day.
Very.
It could have been the wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. According to the 2013 Bureau of Labor Statistics, California ranks the 5th worst state in unemployment. Forbes magazine ranks California as the most costly state in which to do business, while the chief executive magazine finds California business climate as the worst in the nation for 9 years in a row. Tesla, the maker of high-end electronic vehicles, is planning to invest up to $5 billion on a new factory to produce lithium-ion batteries in either Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, or Texas, while Tesla is a California-born business that would not exist if it were not for the millions received in startup state subsidies, generous tax credits, and over $31 million in sales tax exemptions. Tesla executives are looking elsewhere to build a new manufacturing plant. High-tech alternative energy developer Bing Energy announced plans to close its California-based operations and relocate to Florida, citing California's corporate tax rate coupled with stringent permitting rules and regulations that led to their decision to leave California. Bing Energy Chief Financial Officer Dean Minardi explained, "I just can't imagine any corporation in their right mind would decide to set up in California today. Despite the procedures set forth under the APA, California's economy is struggling due to onerous and duplicative regulations. A Sacramento State University found the total cost of regulation is approximately $493 billion, or 3.8 million lost jobs, a tenth of the state's population. Senate Bill 981 will require a system-wide review of state regulations to identify excessive or duplicative laws. At a modest estimate, there are well over 28,000 pages of regulations with hundreds of new agency laws added each year by unelected bureaucracies. All these regulations carry the same force of law as any legislation. Imagine what it's like for a small business owner or an immigrant who comes to our state in hopes of starting a business, only to find complicated and confusing regulations that hamper their ability to make a living. SB 981 will require all departments to review all regulations that are at least 20 years old every 5 years. The regulation review process will include a report of purpose, statutory authority, direct cost to identified sectors if it is duplicative, relevant, or can be updated to become more effective and less burdensome. Simple fact is our regulatory system is killing small business and driving large companies to more business-friendly states. A systematic review is necessary to help entice businesses back to California and help return our state to its former golden prosperity.
Witnesses in support. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. My name is Leonard Lang. I'm a regulatory consultant, and I got into that business after about 25 years in the recycling business. I specialize in educating and training people in how to survive the California regulatory environment. I learned that process with the beverage container recycling program, which started in 1987, and I learned it from a man who wrote those regulations. Every problem and abuse that he told me about in the regulatory process, I have seen come to fruition. Currently, I have clients who have regulatory problems in Senator Vidak's district. Yesterday, I found out a client in the chair's district, Mr. Hernandez's district, Ms. Torres, and Mr. Padilla. I am in support of this bill, but it's only a start. I don't see it going far enough. The biggest problem that I see is underground regulation. 2 years ago, I started arguing with one of the departments, and it took 2 years before they finally had to admit that they had been imposing underground regulation. But even by that time, those underground regulations had been used in accusations against California businesses and employers. Next, many times departments will attempt to adopt regulations without statutory authority. And finally, one of the biggest problems is violating the rulemaking process. The past three rulemaking programs or rulemaking packages that CalRecycle adopted in the past few months, in my opinion, all violated statute and regulations. They failed to obey the process. Until these problems are fixed, all California businesses and the jobs that they create are at risk. The beverage container program is a perfect example. We're seeing it going insolvent now. It's been mismanaged based upon an audit of 2010. We identified that, and thanks to Senator Galgiani, there's going to be another audit. Hopefully they will find many of these regulatory abuses in that audit. Hardest hit, though, are companies that might come here. They're afraid to come here or who are here. But the ones that I have most trouble with are the small businesses, family-run businesses, which tend to mostly be immigrant, and most of those are Latino. The country that they came to find opportunity is putting them out of business with the regulatory process. Thank you.
Others in support.
Thank you, Chair and members. My name is Dorothy Rothrock. I'm with the California Manufacturers and Technology Association. CMTA supports this bill to enhance the legislature's power to act for the public good, to restore authority that's increasingly been shifted to administrative agencies. The fact is that the process required by this bill should already be happening in all agencies who have jurisdiction over their various regulations. The experts in the agency should be regularly reviewing their regulations, inviting public feedback if appropriate and necessary, and giving a report to the legislature should be no real additional burden. It's a very simple bill. If we don't have this process, regulatory changes will be haphazard and may be dependent more on political agendas rather than need or merit.